All right, here we go. We got a special edition here of Family Movie Time podcast with Joe and Scott. I'm your host, Jeff. We're going to be watching The Gold Rush. This movie is about 101 years old. Not 101 Dalmatians, but 101 years old. It is one of Charlie Chaplin's finest comedic masterworks, which charts a prospector's search for fortune in the Klondike and his discovery of romance with the beautiful Georgia Hale, forever cementing the iconic status of Chaplin and his little tramp character, shot partly on location in the Sierra Nevadas and featuring such timeless gags as the dance of the dinner rolls and the meal of the boiled shoe. That's a leather shoe. This is an incredible work of heartwarming hilarity, and really fortunate to have Joe and Scott here. We're gonna watch the movie in real time. So if you've never seen the movie, you're gonna get our brilliant commentary, and maybe we'll also bring our own, history with Chaplin. I encourage you guys to mention maybe the first Chaplin movie you've seen or your first experiences with silent movies. There's so much to talk about with Charlie Chaplin, and he definitely is one of the first global superstars of cinema, and one of the few filmmakers that successfully transitioned from the silent movie era to the sound era and continued to have so many achievements in his film career as a director, as a performer himself. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. So this is the restored version, or
Well,
as
and the
best they
music
could.
that was played is a Chaplin composition, right?
Good point. He would compose often the music for his films. So here we go. We get some context here. Originally released in 1925, reissued with sync music and narration in 1942 by
Oh,
Chaplin.
wow.
He removed all the titles, arranged some sequences, discarded scenes. The original 1925 version disappeared. They had to piece stuff together. So this is like, the best they could do to like digitally restore it.
Yeah, this is an opportunity to see Chaplin's masterpiece close to its original form, but it should still be regarded as a work in progress. Quote.
Yeah.
That's wild.
In progress. Is it ever going to be completed?
Maybe we'll get a new version in
The
100 years.
2026 release of The Gold Rush.
We'd have to take out a loan to complete it.
So you guys, when's the last time you saw this movie?
Yesterday.
No, I was trying to think of like when the last time I saw it. I mean, I would say this film is not as memorable. Joe and I had a little conversation. This film is monumental in like the career of Chaplin. It's the first feature-length film of the Tramp, not of Chaplin's though. But it was the first, and really, like you say, put him in superstar status. But to me, Modern Times and City Lights have much more memorable and much more refined feels to them. And yeah, Gold Rush, I mean, it's memorable for the shoes, the dancing feats, the shot of all the extras going up the mountain, but a lot of technological achievements. But I don't know, man. I feel like the other films tug at your heartstrings and have much more commentary on them.
Yeah. Me and Scott did talk about this a bunch. Yes, like Chaplin had a whole bunch of
The
a whole
library.
bunch of films, yeah, a library under his belt already. But these are all like pretty obscure shorts, which I wouldn't even really know how to watch them, like if I wanted to.
I mean,
Like
they're available. They're
I've
around.
seen them.
Yeah.
I have seen them, but I mean, if I wanted to watch them today, I wouldn't. Where would you watch them?
Sure, Criterion has a few of them, but I mean,
It's
with
always
you,
it always goes back, Jeff. It always goes back to the Criterion.
There's been DVD releases too. There's been DVD releases
oh
of it.
yeah. Well, that was one of my first exposures to Chaplin. Was I mean, I knew of him and had heard of him, but like I went with my family to Suncoast Video. I don't know if either of you ever used to
Yeah.
go to Suncoast Video.
Yes, yes.
It was like the kind of a step up. It had a lot more availability of films, and it had like there was a collection of Chaplin films that was there. It was a store in like the 80s and 90s that
Can we
existed that
talk
no
about
longer.
just about how at the beginning of this film how horrific this looks?
You mean the actual cinematography, or the trials that these people are
No,
going through?
I mean the trials. I mean the
Well, that was actually one thing I was,
it
as
looks
I was
horrible.
rewatching this film, something that hadn't dawned on me. You think of the tramp, and you think of what he's dealing with here in the gold rush, and these people trying to go make their riches. Um, you know, but this was before the Depression, actually. Like you think of you almost feel like this is Depression era type stuff, but really it's the Roaring Twenties. Like the economy was really strong, and then you kind of remember
Yeah, it
that
is.
when you see some of the girls partying at the bar later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's one of my. Okay, I'll save my notes.
And this is like in the silent era, this is like kind of towards the end, right? I mean, sound started to come into being more standard in the mid 20s, right? Am I?
Well, Jazz Singer is 29, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jazz Singer I think is 29, and that's also when the stock market crashes and everything
Yeah.
goes to hell after that. And that's something to bring up about like Chaplin and the later films is Modern Times and City Lights were made in an era where he could have done sound and he chose not to for
He
the
tried to
character.
wait. He tried to really wait and still make silent movies, but then eventually I think Modern Times starts to have more sound stuff in it.
Oh, and here's the bear man, the man who is also a bear.
Is part of the appeal with Chaplin, do you think, the fact that he is this like, you know, poor person and just trying to survive and navigate, his no like unemployed kind of no low income, no income status? Is that part of the maybe connection for a lot of people over the years?
The tramp has this, universal kind of. eh, it's not exactly the same as an everyman quality, uh, because that's different. I mean, that's something more like Jimmy Stewart. Mr. Bean actually kind of plays the same game, I think, as the
Yeah,
tramp does.
they
Yeah.
get down to very human things that they want, right? Here it's a lot of times it's food and it's also being loved
Yeah,
by somebody else,
yeah. I mean,
survival.
that's what this whole scene is that we're watching now.
Yeah.
And it was this whole scene that actually made me think of Tarantino. I mean, this it just looks like Hateful Eight, like
Oh, okay.
or it kind of bleeds over. Actually, I think even beyond cinema into like video games. I mean, like Resident Evil looks like this. I'm serious. I
Yeah.
mean, like in say like Resident Evil 4 or 7, it looks like this.
Huh.
Well, that was a kind of that's a critique of a lot of early films was that it was very like much on one plane, right? And that kind of gets into the video game aspect, maybe not a Resident Evil, but like certainly the early Mario movies of just being like backwards, forwards, up and down. And like Buster Keaton would kind of embrace it in a way to like, make that part of his aesthetic and part of the gag. But that was certainly what, silent films. And one thing that popped out to me in this film on reviewing it was I was kind of surprised at how many close-ups there were
Ah.
for a comedy and for this era. Like, DW had created the close-up or, popularized it. But you didn't really see it much in comedies and in early films. And here you go right here. Even that, there's
Oh,
other
with him and the
close-ups
chicken
too.
wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even getting
Or
that close, like,
Or is it
even
a
like
turkey leg? What is that?
good question. And it was just, where was it? It was like in a cabinet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it's cold enough you don't need to refrigerate it.
No.
So, and Chaplin started in vaudeville as a kid, right? And he grew up in relative poverty himself. So I think he has this maybe natural inclination to physical comedy, slapstick comedy. And now it's starting to get revved up here with his physical, athleticism when he does these movies.
Yeah, see, this scene is right out of Hateful Eight in Tarantino.
When he was
No,
running in
Wouldn't it be
place
the other?
like
You
that.
think he was influenced by Tarantino?
yes, it's backwards causality. Yes, like when when they open the door in Hateful Eight and they all freak out and they're like, "Shut the door!" Like that's this.
Now, he often would not work with scripts. I think this was one of the few movies where he actually had a more, specific kind of story scene structure. Did you guys ever come across that over the years? That
He would often write. He would often write on film. Like he's very much known for, during the filming process, writing the story out. I mean, I'm sure the overall arc of things was always there. And there's a really interesting documentary, I think it's called Unknown Chaplin, where there's like clips of how he really progresses a gag over, 60 to 100 takes just to work out a gag. That's a little different than story wise, but even modern time, or I'm sorry, City Lights is famous for, he was trying to figure out how to communicate that the blind woman realized or thought he was a rich man. And it's the car door that she hears a car door and she thinks it's his car door that he's getting in and out of. And that was like over the process of filming that he figured that out.
For someone who's never seen a silent movie, Joe, how could you explain the cinematography of that time and what it took to film this kind of stuff? Being having a
Oh,
cinematography background yourself.
oh, I don't want to be condescending about it, but uh, from where we are sitting now here today, it's a little primitive. Uh, you're gonna have a giant camera and a giant tripod, and you don't have that much mobility. I mean, like I said, when I was watching this, I thought of Wes Anderson, who I misidentified in a story with Tarantino, but also Paul Thomas Anderson. So something like
You say Grand
like a whip
Budapest
tilt,
Hotel.
like to whip
Yeah.
like that. They just couldn't do it. It's not possible. Or like a whip tilt down can't be done. Or variance in film speed can't be done. Also, I love the font,
um,
but
at this
but you use it basically visually. You just kind of gotta plant the camera down, and then you're there.
Yeah.
That's
Scott, you want to
well,
add something?
Well, I don't know if at this point, because I feel like these were built on interiors, but for a long time, silent films were shot outside, even interior scenes.
Yeah.
They would have to, I mean, that's why the film industry moved to California, was they literally would have an open top set outside so that the sun could come in and be enough
absolutely.
sun to
In
expose on film.
Yeah, I mean,
in
I
Fort
assume this cabin is a set,
in
right?
Fort Lee, New Jersey,
And
where
it
the
must be.
industry when the industry started in New Jersey and Fort Lee, they would film on the rooftops so they could get the sunlight during the day. And then eventually, like you said,
Also,
Scott, the
what
industry
is he
moved to
eating?
California.
The candle.
Oh, it is the candle.
It's a candle,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you eat a candle? That's disgusting.
I mean, you can eat lots of things.
Your stomach might not agree with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it may not be good for you, but you can certainly eat a lot of things.
Now, weren't the lights originally super hot? And I read they had to put, the glass in front of the certain lights so that because it would basically it would really hurt the performer's eyes, the original
Hmm.
lights in silent movies. They were like super hot.
Oh,
I
you mean like arc lights? Like
Yes, arc
the
lights
big ones?
specifically.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
They made
those will hurt you if
they made
you.
a law where you had to have glass in front of it for the
hmm.
film industry. Yeah, it
Yeah.
got so bad.
Yeah. I mean,
I
like
mean,
the
I feel like this.
the modern version would be an HMI, but you still, if you point an HMI at someone, it will hurt them.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the modern, I mean, it's wild what they're doing with lights now on film sets. It's just
Yeah,
with
Scott,
LED.
how could you describe the film industry now since you have kind of a
Well, it's
influence?
all LEDs now. Like gaffers walk around with iPads
Wow.
and control the levels of the lights from the iPads.
Wow.
Or more specifically on bigger shows, there's actually called a the board op. And there's an operator who sits at a dimming board and just goes up and down on lights
Like a
and
sound mixer would.
color temperatures and all that
Wow.
stuff is controlled rather than us going and putting gels on stuff or flags or scrims and all that. It's all happening from there's still a little bit of scrimming and flagging and all that kind of jazz, but like generally you're just going up and down on lights. I've been working with I
there's
recently
a
worked with
word
somebody
that
who
I want to use, but I will refrain.
what word is that? What's most hilarious is when the gaffer mixes up all of the numbers of the lights and he'll be like, turn on 22, 22, 23. And you're like sitting on a set trying to figure out what lights they're trying to turn on and off. It's like,
Scott, when was like you mentioned when you rented a Chaplin movie from was it Suncoast Video? Was that the first time you ever saw a silent movie?
I bought it. It was, well, you bought it. Suncoast wasn't a rental place. It was you
Oh.
bought from it. It was often in malls. I bought one or two VHS tapes of Chaplin. It was a collection of Chaplin shorts.
Oh
This is
wow.
like in high
Um,
school or something.
School, late elementary school.
Oh wow.
And what made you
Um,
interested? How did you find like, oh, I want to buy these?
that's a very good question. I remember I think I was introduced to the Marx Brothers before Chaplin. Some neighborhood kids had checked out a Marx Brothers film, not Horse, is it Horse Feathers?
Horse feathers.
Is that the one on the boat, the Stowaways? No, that's the
Monkey
football
business
one.
maybe is on the
Yes, Monkey Business is the
cover.
stowaway one. So
Yeah.
Monkey Business, we rented it from the local library, and I would go back and check it out multiple times myself. Suncoast Video actually would have Marx Brothers movies. That was the thing is like you go to most stores and they'd have modern movies. Suncoast was one would have a little higher elevated older movies and foreign films and that type of stuff would be a part of their probably why they went out of business so fast. But the was part of like their shtick. And I definitely saw, yeah, so I got Chaplin films from there, and and watching it as a kid, yeah, it's very relatable as a kid. It's a lot of this comedy is kind of like Joe was touching on with Mr. Bean kind of element of like very elemental, like very like, bare bones kind of stuff that communicates with all people.
Yeah.
Doesn't Harpo Marx have kind of a silent movie, approach to comedy himself as a performer?
Yeah, I mean Harpo was the silent one of the Marx Brothers who would do a lot of similar kind of ideas too. Um,
There's
And and
Go
and
ahead.
this must have speaking
Oh
of
my
this film
God,
having
eating his
influences on
shoe. Oh my
Tarantino.
God. And I also thought
This is like one of the most famous scenes in the movie
I
right here.
couldn't help but think of Herzog.
So it's just what to bring up.
Herzog, like when he eats his shoe.
So there's a documentary for those who are unfamiliar, maybe called Werner Herzog Eats His Shoe. He made a bet with another filmmaker that if he lost the bet, he would eat his shoe. So then he lost the bet, and he made a short documentary called Werner Herzog Eats His Shoe.
Well, he
Yeah.
lost the bet to the famous
Le-
documentarian.
Les Blank.
Oh, Les Blank. Okay.
I think it's Les Blank, or is
I
it
thought it was the guy who did Thin Blue Line and
Errol Morris?
Errol
yeah,
Morris?
I thought it was Errol Morris.
I think it Les Blank directed the short doc. Werner Herzog eats a shoe, but yeah, I think you're right. It was the bet was with Errol Morris.
But I mean, Werner Herzog is like pretty good at taking on the consequences of like crazy bets, right? Because he eats his shoe. But then there's also the one where his friend dies and he walks from like Germany to France or what is it?
Yeah, I think to Paris.
To yeah,
Mhm.
to go see him.
To see the dead friend?
Yeah, well, but he does it on foot, like on principle.
What film is that? I'm not familiar with that one.
No, it's not a film. It's just
Oh,
a
just
thing that
something he
he
did?
did. Yeah.
But wasn't it the German film critic, the woman Lottie?
I
Oh,
don't
what's her name?
remember.
I think it was she. She was very ill, and he decided to walk from Germany to Paris, France, to see her
Yeah,
before she
or that's it.
passed.
Yes, I think he wanted to see her before she
Yes,
died.
she's a famous German film critic, Lottie
Yeah,
Eisner or Lottie something. Yeah,
yeah.
he wrote a book about it. Scott, he didn't
And
make a
and
movie that
Herzog
time. He
has
wrote a
like
book.
has such affection for film
Gotta
critics.
say he
And
had
like
to
I
monetize
remember
it
when
somehow, right?
when Roger Ebert was dying, Herzog would say very vocally and very publicly that, this is a hero for the cinema, and everyone should respect him.
Back to Chaplin. Have you
Oh
guys
yeah,
seen
I
most of his
forgot. We're watching
movies?
a Chaplin movie.
Have you seen most of his films, like through the sound era? Have you seen most of them?
Yeah.
Uh, I think I've seen everything, but well, of the feature, the more established
Yeah,
feature length films.
features.
I think I've seen everything up to. I have not seen Countess from Hong Kong.
Oh,
Have you?
Oh, that I
I've
haven't
seen
even
it
heard of that.
a while. It's the one with
It's
Brando
him and Marlon Brando.
and Sophia Loren.
What?
Sophia Loren's in that one too.
Oh, she is. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
I've seen it years ago. Recently, I will admit, about a year ago, I just watched King of New York and Limelight for the first time. Those are excellent.
And now
Those
he becomes a chicken.
Yeah. Now, originally with this scene here, to mention.
We need to slow down and pay closer attention because this sequence is insane.
But wait, Chaplin originally wanted an actor to do this scene, but the actor couldn't do it the way he wanted it done. So then Chaplin just did it himself for dressing like the chicken here.
I was about to say you could definitely see his mannerisms in the chicken. No, I'm not even joking. I mean, really, the way he walks and everything is very
Yeah,
tramp-like.
yeah.
I thought he was a turkey at first, but maybe it's just because he was real big.
Oh, the guy.
I mean, some of this stuff gets pretty dark here, you know.
It
Yeah,
does.
no, it does.
Oh,
And
yeah.
even when he goes and chases the wanted man, and there's like that shootout, like for a Chaplin film, I thought so. I kind of hinted at it earlier. This is the first feature length. Well, I think there were. I think the
There's
kid
the
is.
chicken again.
I think the kid is considered a feature length film, but that's more like 50 minutes. This is the like full on hour and a half, first full on hour and a half film of The Tramp. But Chaplin made a film called A Woman of Paris
Yes.
before this. That was he wanted to get out of having to do all these comedies all the time, and it was a drama about a woman. The Tramp makes a small cameo in the end, but in the distance or something. But it's a very it's I was trying to tell Joe I couldn't tell you much. I don't remember the film. I remember it being good. I don't think it was very memorable just because it's just kind of a plain drama.
He's not in
But
it at
for
all himself.
nope, exactly. And yeah, it's just a straight up drama. I think a woman, does she have a child out of wedlock? Is that what's happening in that story?
Yeah.
It's very much a woman in high society, doesn't fit in, that kind of story, that kind of thing. And you know, it was actually fairly interesting to see it. I would not send everybody out to rush out to go see it, but like It's not. I mean, that's the thing is like, what other dramas can you name from the silent era? It's comedies that have lasted from the silent era, not dramas, because there just wasn't anything like really going on. It was a lot of canned theater type stuff.
Yeah,
Comedy
yeah,
able
it is
to
mostly canned theater. You are
canned
correct.
theater,
Yeah.
you
Pantomime.
know, and even
Like
Chaplin
like
to a
like like Romeo
degree.
and Juliet, Robin Hood, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
I would point to the stuff like Sunrise by Murnau, that silent film that has more of a German expressionism
Well,
experiment,
right.
you
Yeah,
know.
the German Expressionists you can remember because that's some again, that's not canned theater. I mean, that's
King
something that's more pushing the boundaries, you know.
King Vidor, like The Crowd, that one I think is
All
very,
right, fair enough, you know, that's yeah, but was that an American production? I
I
guess
think
so.
so.
He was
Yeah.
probably in the States by that point, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
The crowd I think is still really impressive.
Look at can we just pause? Can we go back just a few frames?
Oh, we're watching it real time. You just
No,
gotta say
it's
it.
just the tramp sitting there with a gun in his lap.
You want
I
you want
mean,
It's really funny.
you want a poster of that in your room behind you on the wall? Is that
Oh
what
yeah, no, I don't want a poster of it in my room.
a
I just want it to
t-shirt
be a postcard that I could send to someone else.
that you like or that you dislike? I
It depends on my mood.
like how they're trying to still live together in this cabin, even though they
Yeah,
clearly don't want.
he's still here with the bear. Yes, there he is again. It's so funny. Look,
I love the gag of him sleeping with the feet, the shoes on his hands, as though that's how he's gonna stop a guy from trying to eat him. Like if you fall asleep, don't you fall asleep? Like, does it matter whether he thinks he's grabbing your hands or your feet? Like,
That gives them like an extra 2 seconds to respond.
I don't think it does. I think Kiger is correct. It's
This is getting
ridiculous.
This is pretty wild here with the.
And then there's the actual bear.
Yeah.
well, and then there's this guy in a bear suit. But I was actually what I meant, the early sequence, I was wondering how much real bear on set.
Is it an actual bear? I think it is. Some of it, I think, is
Some
an
of it
actual
is
bear.
not the one that's standing up that he's wrestling. That's a man in a bear
Maybe
suit.
when it ran out of the cabin, it was a real bear.
Yes, yes. Well, some of those movies they would put glass between the performers and dangerous animals like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what they did for this film. I mean, this is still at that era where it was wild what they would do.
Hey, what
It's
about
got an
the
axe in
silent?
the background of that
Yeah.
shot. That makes it even more like Resident Evil.
What about
Have you?
the silent movie Ben-Hur? Have you guys seen
This
that
looks
version?
like this
I
looks
have
like
actually.
Resident Evil.
That's quite
Actually,
that's
a
quite
lot
epic.
of this movie, I think, is visually informative
Yeah.
of a lot of video games. Really, I mean, I think I don't mean to depart from cinema entirely, but I mean, if you've ever played Resident Evil, this is what it looks like.
I mean, have you guys seen the movie Hundreds of Beavers?
I've seen the trailer. I haven't seen the whole movie yet. No.
I've never even heard of it.
It came out what 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah, about 3. Yeah.
It's a silent film that it's Chaplin meets Mario Brothers. It is like a gamification of a man in the middle of the woods just trying to hunt a bunch of beavers. And then there's a bunch of beavers that like Jeff, I don't even know how to like explain the film. Like there's tons of visual effects, there's tons of fake beavers, there's tons of like incredible comedy gags. It's like I mean, the film is wild. You guys have to see
Did you
Hundreds
laugh?
of
Did
Beavers.
you laugh out
Oh
loud?
yeah, it's hysterical.
Okay.
And it's mind-boggling like what they accomplished with, it was something like made for like 50K maybe on weekends, like a bunch of guys getting together on weekends. It's
Is it
like
better? Is it better than The Artist, the silent movie that won Best Picture some years ago?
it's a different
Is it better
vibe.
than The Artist?
Well, I mean, I'm
I mean,
thinking
I
about
enjoyed The Artist. Did you guys enjoy The Artist?
at
I
the
did.
time. I
I
haven't
thought it
seen
was
it in a
good.
long time, but I liked it at the time. Yeah. But I'm just thinking about recent, like, contemporary silent movies. It sounds like an oxymoron or a contradiction, but you know,
Well, Hundreds of Beavers is up.
There's no such thing as a contemporary silent movie.
I mean, yeah, I would agree with Joe on that. I mean, like it's not the same thing. Even when Mel Brooks did it in the 70s, it was, I mean, they were sending up a lot of old gags, but they were still playing into the fact that they were a sound movie that was purposely being silent.
yeah.
Yeah. I would say like the closest you could possibly come would be a movie like
Hundreds of Beavers.
I think
It's
Wally. I think
okay.
Wally, where you had like the
No
first
spoilers.
30 minutes of that film. Oh, to spoil Wally. Like the first half hour is basically a silent film.
It's pretty
But
quiet.
that's the closest you get in modern cinema.
Thought that Tilts Down was a very unusual silent film move that just happened there. There was like a
Oh yeah.
tilt down from like I don't even know what he was looking at, some sort of ornamentation outside the store. Oh, there it is in the background. There's three balls hanging off the back. Is that
Oh,
like
he's at the Photoshop.
Oh
yeah?
yeah. Now
Is
his
that the
right
universal sign of a Photoshop? Three balls hanging outside. It's like the universal sign of the barber shop.
Three balls.
Three balls.
with his right foot.
Oh wait,
This
that is actually the universal sign for a pawn shop, and that's what he's selling. He sells his.
this was my note. This was my note. 26 minutes 59. This
Yeah.
reminded me so much of Grand Budapest Hotel.
Okay. By Wes
This.
Anderson.
Yes.
There's a great image in here. Probably the best image is coming. Well, it's a
Close
little
up.
bit.
There you go. Some close ups.
Like, and
Inserts.
Georgia Hale. Georgia Hale is amazing in this.
But she's
And
rather plain.
I think it's insane that her character title is the girl.
Yeah, I think that was a result of the times, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like he's the tramp, right? I mean, even her character's referred to as Georgia. The other thing is her character's referred to as
she's
Georgia.
The girl. And yes, and you're right. In the story, when she writes her note, she signs it as Georgia.
Well, even the
Like
subtitles,
with her own name.
the intertitles refer to her as Georgia as well.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the Chaplin cards, I mean, it's archetypes, right? That when the character names are referenced in the title cards.
Yeah.
Now his right foot is wrapped up in several films, right? That's part of his character, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's got a boot.
I've noticed that in other of his movies.
Really, this image I found to be one of the more, oh, well, I guess it cuts back to that similar wide here a little later, and he's by himself. It was
Very,
one of the
very
more,
poetic or expressive, you think?
just one of the more better compositions of the film,
Yeah.
like a better, like actual use of the art of film rather than just canned theater.
Yeah.
I would argue Chaplin is still very is more canned theater than say like a Buster Keaton. Buster Keaton
It's not
definitely
even
uses film. Like this is the image I was kind of
That could
most
be the
impressed
poster.
with.
That's a good poster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
too.
Yeah.
This too gave me Grand Budapest Hotel. And I think I agree with you, but it's not really canned theater that gets a little boorish. But it's more canned vaudeville
Oh,
Mm,
that gets boorish.
okay.
But this I don't think does that at all.
Okay.
And dude, she's so pretty. Like just to keep it
Yeah.
real. Like
good costuming here and all the clothing choices with the
So it's also one of the I think a woman from Paris might have been his first film for United Artists, but this was his first Tramp film for United Artists, I believe.
hmm.
They form in like 1919, and he doesn't even get this film out until 20 or 1925, you know.
I love that. I guess I'm bored.
Hmm.
What's wrong? I guess I'm bored.
That's where this is where
Like
you
like
start to
this
remember
is
that
one
this
of
is the
like
Roaring Twenties and not the Great Depression.
yeah, I
Hmm.
know, but I mean the movie is 100 years old. And if you try to chat up a woman in a bar, like, is something wrong? Yeah, I guess I'm just bored. It, it's so modern.
Hmm.
I think it's very on point. It, it
Yes.
it's very, I think, astute in that way. I'm so bored.
You're always looking for something more, right? And even somebody who, you know, much more attractive than the tramp, full of life, life of the party, has lots of people interested in her, still kind of looking for something more, even though she has a lot of the things that seemingly the tramp wants.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, but she also doesn't know the tramp yet completely. So,
Hmm.
like, it's not that she thinks the tramp is boring, it's that she is
No.
bored.
Well, yeah, no, I know it's not about her opinion of the tramp. I'm saying, that she's still bored even though she has all the things the tramp wants.
Uh,
Attention, life of the party, nice
Basically, yes.
clothes,
Yeah.
material things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this relationship is very again, kind of modern, right, Joe? She's like doesn't want this man. Later she does want him. Later they're together. Maybe they're together, maybe not.
Is there some parallels to the 1920s and the 2020s? Should we get into that?
How dare you say such a thing? Yeah, this guy's not creepy at all.
Yeah, right. But she's kind of into it later.
Oh, there he is. There's Chaplin. That's good. The composition there too, with the all of them in the frame.
Hmm.
Why does he have like the boot?
I
Is
think
is,
Because
is,
he
is
ate
that
his
ever
shoe.
is that ever established?
he
Yeah,
can't
he ate his
afford to buy
shoe.
new shoes, so he has to just wrap up the shoe that's all busted.
Oh, okay.
I
He ate
think
the one. He ate the one
I
shoe.
forgot.
he
He
ate it.
offers.
Oh, it's
He
because he
offers
ate
this.
it. Oh,
He
that's right.
offers the second shoe to some. I forget if it was here or when
Oh,
they go back
to
to the
the other
gym.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I love how even dancing he carries the cane.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever watch the Robert Downey Jr. Chaplin?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's a wonderful sequence in that film where Robert Downey Jr. He goes in and he's trying to like figure out the costume, and he finds the hat and then the coat and the pants and like and the flexible cane, and then he just kind of walks out, and then he starts to figure out like how he's gonna walk as the tramp.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think about that like the whole time watching this film.
I think that's a good movie, maybe even underrated as far as a biopic about, like a famous Hollywood performer or film performer. And it's from the 90s, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Early 90s.
it's 90 something. I wouldn't say that it's underrated. I mean, it got like, it was well reviewed and everything, but I think it is underappreciated.
Well, it also is very influenced. I mean, it's adapted from Chaplin's autobiography, my autobiography, which was heavily, critiqued as being or as being very inaccurate.
Oh,
Chaplin very much
That's true.
glossed over a lot of things in his life and how, and even the movie kind of makes fun of. I think the movie kind of tongue in cheek, especially with the scene you're talking about, Joe, tongue in cheek kind of brings up that fact of like when he walked in and it was the perfect light on the hat and it was just it came to him and it was whatever, and then like the reality is he had to just run around and throw a bunch of stuff together and it just kind of lucked he kind of lucked into it being as iconic, coming out as iconic as it did. He definitely embellished in his autobiography,
do you
as to
know
like
much about
his
his
own
life,
project.
Scott? Like his upbringing? Do you remember much
Yeah, I
about
mean,
it?
I read his autobiography many, many years ago. I mean, yeah, poor life, vaudeville, comes to the States, falls in with comedy troops here and into silent films. He's working with Max Sennett for a while, the Keystone guys. He gets kind of passed around. He's always kind of pushing his ambitions and has to like go to different companies constantly, eventually leading to United Artists having to go out on his own with a bunch of other partners, to try to control his own films, always very stubborn in his ways. And then, gets kicked out of the United States for communist sympathies. I guess that would have been in the 40s. And then,
Yeah, and in
yeah,
his case, communist sympathies meant being anti-Nazi.
Hmm.
I don't think, I mean, that's where the Chaplin film implies, but I think there was a little bit more than just that. But
And this scene is amazing. I love this one where like all these like, you know, a bunch of hot chicks come to his house. Four of them,
oh yeah.
Wow. Now
which
he
I
thinks
don't
he's streaming.
understand because he has this cabin in like the middle of the wilderness. So I don't know how they got there.
Well, they went out for a snowball fight.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yes, literally, yes, but practically, it makes no sense.
Well, I did have to start. Oh, and here's one of those
And
moments that
she
I felt like
snoops in his bed. What
this
a
must have been a story point that Chaplin had to work out a long time. Like, how does she find out that he's fascinated with her?
Mm,
yeah.
I
mm.
wonder how much he went back and reshot the inserts of the photos from the original party, and if he came to the story point later on in the
Huh.
process of production.
Yeah, I think if they were actually, I think if that were the case, then he would behave very differently.
Mm.
Have either of you
But
seen
I
the?
think this is more of just like a kind of a fantasy situation, really, where the muses show up and they're just kind of there, and he's doing his best to entertain them, and like he wants to make dinner,
Yeah.
and and have everything be just right, and then it doesn't work out because he's the tramp, and of course it doesn't work out. But will you really come? You know, I you know what I mean?
New Year's Eve. Okay.
And now it only gets worse.
So they're making it like a date with him.
Yeah,
A dinner date.
yeah.
Have either of you seen the Damien Chazelle film Babylon?
I've read about that movie. I've not seen it yet. No.
I've
It's
not
not
seen
a
it either.
it's not a great movie, don't get me wrong, but it takes place and it's about silent film production.
Okay.
And to see the setting is pretty cool to see how
Isn't there
like
also, for an older movie, Bogdanovich made a movie about the silent era?
He made a film called The Cat's Meow.
Nickelodeon, it's called.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
I haven't
Oh,
I
seen it.
remember it, but I've
I
heard of it, but I
also
haven't
thought you
seen
were
it.
talking about the cat's meow.
Nickelodeon, yeah, it's got like Keaton and the
Hmm.
early silent performers. But you mentioned Babylon. Is it worth seeing? I've heard mixed things about that movie.
I mean, I don't think you would go to watch it to enjoy the movie for itself, but to see like, I mean, there's definitely
That
elements
is the
to it.
opposite of an endorsement.
But there's movies that you watch just for like the I don't know even if the
Yeah.
historical
Curiosity.
yeah.
Would you say people are better just to go watch like a Buster Keaton or go watch Metropolis or something? Go watch a silent movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually go see Hundreds of Beavers. That's what you should go see. I'm telling you guys, like
All right.
Joe
I'm
in
making a note.
particular, Joe, you will love Hundreds of Beavers. As soon as you see it, call me. We will discuss.
Joe's taking names and writing it down. What do you think of Limelight or King of New York?
Oh,
Have you
I
remember
love
those,
this.
Scott?
I love this sequence. Hold on, stop.
Yeah.
We have to. I love this
All right.
sequence so much.
Yes.
The
I actually
shovel.
misunderstood. Did the guy pay him to shovel it?
No, not yet. He has to shovel it first, and then the guy pays him.
Oh, okay. And then and then he
because
tries to
he's
do it
trying
for,
to get ready. He's trying to get ready for all these hot chicks to come to his house,
and then he's created his own
and
problem.
to do it, now he has to go and like make some money by
Yeah.
shoveling snow out of the front of all the local businesses.
Yes.
And this guy's being a jerk about it.
Yeah.
But the other ones are cool.
Huh.
But this guy doesn't. But I don't know. It hit a chord with me somehow because it's just so it's so visceral. It's so real.
Did
And
you
it's
ever
so
shovel?
simple in
Yeah.
terms of like the narrative mechanics of like what's going on.
Did
It's
you
like
ever shovel snow as a kid? Or you guys didn't grow up? Did you grow up near snow?
I had to, yeah, when I was
I
a
did.
kid.
I did it, yeah.
No, it was mostly I didn't have snow most of where I grew up.
Did you
Oh,
shovel
that's true
dirt?
because your Kiger is from the desert.
Yes. As were my parents. They were amazed. We lived in Ohio for a short while, and they were amazed when it snowed on Halloween one year.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, and so he does all this stuff, right? Like he shovels all this snow, and now he gets to set the table, and then
Then the real fantasy.
nobody shows.
is that modern too?
See, that's why she's totally into the guy now, the Jack there.
Hmm.
It's so crazy how like in I guess you could say in fiction, like within the film, her name is Georgia when
Yeah.
her name is Georgia.
Yeah.
I also think it's always fascinating that his credit was always Charles Chaplin, but we obviously know him as Charlie Chaplin.
Is that part of his British background, maybe? Just
I'm not sure why that like it's always fascinating to me. Speaking of someone, here's a point about silent film I wanted to bring up. Have either of you had the pleasure of going and seeing a silent film accompanied by live music?
yes.
Yes, and it's brilliant. Yes.
Yes.
Now, have either of you had the pleasure of watching a silent film accompanied by live music where the musician had not seen the film beforehand?
Mm.
I actually don't know.
Because that was very much the common thing. These movies would come in, they would have so many movies coming in and out through local theaters that the local piano guy would rarely have seen the film.
Ah, good
And
point.
our friend Cliff Fertalick, who we went to
Oh,
school with,
Cliff. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
he is the live
Would-
accompanist in LA these days.
Would you
Ah,
And
just play random family friendly things.
Yeah, yeah. And he was so I went to a film that he purposely did not see leading up
Wow.
to the film. It was about oh, what's the famous volcano in Italy that mummified all the people?
Vesuvius.
Vesuvius,
No, no,
right?
no. Like the all the remains exist still in real
It's
life that they
Vesuvius.
no, it's a different name. Um, anyway, it's a film about a volcano in Italy, a silent film, and Cliff had not seen the film on purpose, and so he played with it, and you start to experience the film. He's kind of like an audience member himself, experiencing it for the first time. And at one point, he's playing like a really happy song, and that's the turns dramatic, really bad, really quick, and he has to like suddenly change the music to kind of fit your expectation, like coming
Huh.
out of your expectations and into the reality.
Yeah.
And it's a very fascinating experience if you ever get the fortune of doing that. And then
Pompeii. Is it Pompeii?
Pompeii. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Oh, okay.
I didn't
It
even
is
look it up.
Pompeii.
I was
That's the
just
name of
trying
the
to
town.
remember it. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Now, this sequence, it was famous for people would applaud and ask for the reel to be replayed.
Ooh, in the audience while watching the movie.
Yes.
Wow.
Could you
Oh, here's the
imagine?
thing, and they do this in the Robert Downey Jr. does this
Yep.
in the film as well.
Yep. Where he gets the inspiration. It's a dinner with Ed Hoover, right?
Yeah.
Also
Well,
on the set of silent movies, wouldn't they also have sometimes somebody playing violin or piano player to get the performers in the mood if they had to cry, if they had to do a chase scene, whatever it was?
Is that a
yep.
thing?
Oh, yeah.
They
That
would
was
do that
definitely a
too.
thing.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of this before.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of directors still try to do that to this day. They'll try to play music on set. I mean,
Ah,
to me, it's incredibly annoying, and to most of the crew, it's incredibly annoying. Like, because you'll literally be there on set trying to figure out, oh, we should place the light there and the camera here, and
yeah.
it's like boom, loud music that directors will play. But for the cast members, it really helps. It helps.
Do
I
they
think
often
maybe
just
to get them in the mood.
do they just put headphones on maybe and listen to the music that's gonna like help them cry? Is that ever a thing?
They should do that. They should do. Oh yeah, it
That's
definitely is.
right. She has
I've
gums.
definitely sat on sets where actors are like listening to music like right before a dramatic scene.
Ah,
But I like your idea. It should be like a silent disco where the director gets to like DJ who gets what music at what times.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, are you not have you never been to a silent disco, Joe?
No.
Are you familiar with the trend?
I'm familiar with
I
the
feel like Jeff's been
concept.
to one. I feel like Jeff. I see Jeff's. Have you been to a silent disco?
I haven't yet, but I've heard a lot about them. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was
You
like,
can
why would I
explain.
do
Go ahead.
that to myself? It sounds horrible.
Have you tried it, Scott?
I have not, but I've read about it.
Of course he hasn't.
But yeah, tell me
But
more.
you'll wear headphones. The DJ plays music, but there'll also be ones where your headphones light up in different colors. So, and you try to find people and they play different music with the different colors, and then you meet people that have the same color as you and start to dance with them. It's kind of like a
Huh.
way to meet people and partner up with people. Oh, this party looks
And
hopping, by
now
the
we're
way.
back at the house.
So yeah,
We're back at the well.
wow.
Now we're back at the house, and they never showed up.
No, because they're getting into it. She's like, "Do you love me?" And
Oh.
or no, she didn't ask it. He did, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the other shot that really made me
Mm.
think of Grand Budapest Hotel.
Hmm.
It's not flat enough though to be a Wes
Yeah,
Anderson.
no, it's not a long enough lens. You're right, but it's getting there.
Is it the correct aspect ratio? Is this 166 or is this still
This is 133, isn't it?
133? Probably, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has to be 133.
Yeah, I would imagine. Oh, they're gonna go scare him now at his cabin. What were they thinking they were? Anyway,
Also, like, how are they getting there?
They took their snowmobile.
Like, sure.
They rode one of the beavers from Hundreds of Beavers.
Yes, one of the hundreds of beavers.
Sled.
Sled.
Oh yeah, he left. He wasn't there, so
Isn't he here? No.
Is that this guy's horrible?
Yeah, but she's into it.
No, I don't think she is.
Oh, this is where she turns back on him. She's having fun with him at the party.
Yeah, but then her whole crew shows up. Yeah, then you're done. You can't do anything.
But is she torn
Why don't
between?
you kiss me? Because you're horrible.
She's torn between this guy and Chaplin, though. It seems like she does like them both. Like she can't really make her mind up.
Bill, it's a very
Oh, that was a good slap.
yeah. She seemed very uninterested in Chaplin for the longest time until maybe this moment.
Looks cold.
It looks cold. Wow. What an
Yeah,
observation. I would say though, again, to go back to what I was saying before, like, stuff that looks like Resident Evil. I mean, like this, I think is a massive
Huh.
visual inspiration.
Oh. It's not in black and white though, Resident Evil.
Not all of it, some of
But
it.
it's kind of grayish, I guess. The color, what's the color palette or color scheme?
I mean, I think what we would call it today would be bleach bypass
Oh,
mostly,
okay.
but some of it is black and white, just straight up.
No.
Carnival of
My
Souls.
daughter is on a Godzilla kick lately,
Oh,
and
See,
I've
and
kind of
look,
want to
and look,
revisit.
she signs her own name. It's amazing.
is that very
All the intertitles have her name all throughout, Joe.
Yeah, I know, but when it comes
Oh,
time for her to actually like
yeah,
sign the letter, she signs her own name.
they
that's
should
why
do
they had to
that.
go back and make her character Georgia in the
Yeah,
intertitles because of that one shot.
they should do that more in movies. They should just
They
have
didn't want to have to reshoot
characters.
the insert.
I want more movies with real people's names as the characters. That would make it
Oh,
like,
for sure. I mean, if it's like Scarlett Johansson is in the movie, it's like, you sign a note, like a little post-it note when you're about to leave. It's like, yeah, thanks for everything, Scarlett.
This is also like a little bit more like that tilt up is like more movement than you generally see in these films.
It
yes.
is actually, you're correct. Yes. But you hardly, well, I mean, we really don't see very much of that movement at all.
Mm.
Mm. It's very minimal. Now, later on in modern times, he's like moving, like the camera's on like a truck when he's leading the parade. Um, I mean, he doesn't embrace it hugely, but he still has, much like he had audio available to him for, I think, for both modern times and for City Lights, but he chose not to. I mean, modern times there's that squabble, like the Peanuts mom character, teacher character of like a wah 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 wah, but that's about it
Right.
for the boss at the factory.
Oh my God. This whole sequence is really rough for him. Like
Yeah,
they just trip him like six
Yeah.
times in a row or something.
Is it known how did he get hurt in a lot of these films, Chaplin himself? Because he did his own stunts, right? I mean, all this is him.
He did get hurt a lot, but I mean, I think he's kind of in the same class as like Jackie Chan,
Mm.
where like, yes, he gets hurt a lot, but he would also recover and just keep going.
yeah.
And people wouldn't really talk about it that much.
This is also like a this whole storyline of him. The note again. She tells the mean guy that she loves him. She apologizes to him, forgive me, and all that. Chaplin gets the note, and it's a misdirected love that that as an audience member, I'm not sure how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel like sure he's into her, but she's really not into him, and I don't know.
She's not into him yet. Yeah.
Was Chaplin thinking this would be the last Tramp film?
Hmm.
Like,
Uh, I don't see why. If anything, I think he probably thought it would be the first Tramp film.
I'm wondering if he thought it would be the last he could write the character off and move on. I mean, you see his interests in, A Woman of Paris, and
Like, or if
but
he could just like cash out and stop doing anything, maybe, but that seems very unlikely. Well,
I mean,
yeah, but I
yeah, the
mean, but
Tramp
but that wouldn't make
series
it
is
the
awesome.
last Tramp movie. I mean, if anything, that would make the next Tramp movie the movie about how the
How he
tramp,
lost it
who
all.
was a multi-millionaire, lost everything and now he's just the tramp again.
It could be like Beverly Hillbillies style, like he moves to some
Yeah,
rich
something like
place
that.
and he has to manage the money and he, has to figure out a way to keep it. And then people probably want a lot
I
from
mean,
him.
none of the Tramp films really
No,
connect to each
he's just
other.
gonna wind up in a cabin like this again with a guy in a bear suit. Like,
Sleeping with his shoes on his hand
yes,
Because that's the real way to protect yourself from a hungry man.
exactly.
in the middle of nowhere in the winter. Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, how did I wind up here again?
Oh,
How about Harry Langdon as far as the silent comedy performers like Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, but Harold Langdon's kind of a forgotten one, right? Do you even remember that guy?
I don't know if I've seen a Harry Langdon. I know of him again, but I don't know if
I'm not sure how many features he made, but definitely,
I mean, to me, it's
I
Chaplin,
haven't
it's
seen
Keaton,
any
and
of
it's
these
Harold
films
Lloyd. It's
either.
those three are
yeah.
and then of course some of the guys, I think Harpo Marx appeared in a silent film, but
Hmm.
they weren't famous till they were doing sound films, and same with Laurel and Hardy.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Storm time.
A storm disposes.
The grammar leaves a lot
That's
to be desired on these
that's
films.
interesting. That's not the way that I would generally describe it.
It's funny too, the stuff that they choose
And
to
I
their
love this.
titles
I
for as
love
far as
this sequence.
dialogue and the
This is
stuff they
something
they
that I
don't.
was thinking about when we were talking. I was like,
Hmm.
visually, there's not a ton to talk about in this film because it's 100 years old and the camera is basically stationary. And there are some frames that I think are interesting, but the most I have to say is generally set design, and it's this sequence.
Okay.
And this is what made
Like,
I feel like I've seen
look at it.
diagrams. Yeah. I feel like I've seen diagrams of how they built the set and so they can move it on a stage. That's why I was thinking it was on a stage versus somewhere that was an open top
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, this is
set.
LA, right? I mean, this must be LA.
They shot most of it in LA, but there were exteriors that they shot up in the mountains of the Nevadas.
Okay,
Truckee,
but like,
California.
but like this stuff here.
Oh yeah, this is on. I mean, it's on stage. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
in LA. He had his own studios on La Brea at this
yeah,
point.
but when they start to like tilt it like
Yeah,
up and this
yeah.
way and this, I mean, that must be,
It was a build. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah. There must be like a hydraulic thing or something. Like I tried to look it up, but I couldn't really find that much in the way of
I
technical detail.
I remember seeing in books or in documentaries like a diagram of how like artist renderings of because they had like they have like either the designs or people told how it was built and people recreated it. But yeah, it was definitely built on a stage to be turned around.
You know, because it's either that or it's something as
But
crazy as like when we did Night in Space and it's Carrie Gallagher making an insane bed machine to pull in and out, or is something like that. But
no, it's like on a hamster wheel type thing, you know.
yeah, again, and I think it's mostly it's this sequence and some of the previous sequences. I was like, yeah, like here's where I think about Tarantino, or at least where Tarantino inherited stuff actually very directly from this film. And it's just kind of cool to be able to make a note of it.
Hmm. I'm surprised there's a tip when the heavier guy is on the right side. We sure it wasn't just I mean later it fully spins, right?
Well, you never know. Maybe Chaplin is a lot heavier than him.
I doubt it.
No, it's like it's bone
It-
density. He's just they're made of lead.
Oh,
Even the effects of them jumping out the house like is pretty fascinating. I mean, you always think like they were always experimenting with that type of stuff.
oh yeah.
I mean, there was the cam theater for sure, but there was also so much experimentation with all the photographies. Always pretty fascinating. I love the little doll that gets thrown out.
I mean, I love this bit with opening the door.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that guy, like that little doll. I think that's what I have right here. It's the finger puppet. You can just
Oh
like look at
wow.
that. Just put that on
Oh
a
yeah.
string and throw that out there.
Oh wow.
Nice. No, but I love the opening the door and like, oh no. And then like, okay, the other one then. The other one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, I don't this it's a practical, simple question. Oh, what there's a rope that's tying them in place.
Yeah.
When
It
when
gets caught
when
on a rock.
when did that happen?
There was an insert. It gets caught on the rock.
I missed it. Maybe I'm just not paying very good attention.
People had better attention spans back then. You're
It's
gonna
like
have to get your
why is there a rope
oh,
holding the cabin
Oh, that was good.
from falling off the cliff?
um you won't need hundreds of beavers will hold your attention long enough that you
Okay.
won't miss the rope gag.
I'll take your word for it.
Isn't there something with like pain and comedy and watching someone struggle and that being funny? Like there's something kind of a little bit twisted about that, maybe.
There's some sort of like paper cut being a tragedy and a falling into a sewer as a comedy or something like that.
I mean, I don't think there's anything inherently. Are you asking if it's like a problem or something to laugh at
I guess it
pain?
seems ironic. It seems ironic to like a lot of, I mean, this is more slapstick tradition or vaudeville tradition, but comedy in general.
I mean, just think about old vaudeville. I mean,
Yeah.
think about like
Punch and Judy, like they're beating
Yeah.
each other
yes,
up.
exactly.
Three
Punch and
Stooges.
Judy, or like the Marx Brothers or the Stooges, when they like they'll like slap you, and that's the joke.
Yeah.
Like this film is a culmination of all the short films that Chaplin had done with the Tramp.
Hmm.
Maybe.
It's interesting how feature films have that, right? Like I feel like today, I don't know, there's like a much
No,
more.
but wait, now he's rich.
Make way for our multi-millionaires. Yeah.
That's what $1 million could buy you back then. $1 million today barely buys you a house,
Yeah, the bear bought himself
a
a new
starter
coat
home.
that makes him look like a bear.
I always thought it's funny that, like, how much difference can you tell between this and the Tramp? Like, the Tramp wears a tie. Like, in what era is the homeless person wearing a tie now? Like, today, you would, I always felt like he was very dressed up, the Tramp, because he had a tie on and a suit, essentially.
Hmm.
Well,
Hat.
it's kind of funny. I mean, this is a thing that people say about, like modern homelessness. It's such a problem. They're like, hey, like most people don't understand that homeless people, a lot of them have jobs,
Hmm.
you know? So the tramp wearing a tie
Hmm.
is not super shocking.
Because he goes in and occasionally works odd jobs.
And it's
Like
his
the shoveling,
only,
like the shoveling and throughout all the films he
But
does.
his
now he
only
has a
outfit.
fur coat.
And it's his only outfit, when he was during that time.
Yeah.
In your mining clothes.
Oh yeah, there you go. His mining clothes.
He has mining clothes, which are really not that different from what he's already wearing.
Uh, this
I don't
See,
even know who
he's
this guy
bored.
is.
Everything but Georgia. See, there she is. She's referenced not just as the girl. And even though he finally has money, he has all the things he still doesn't have. He's bored
Hmm.
without a life partner to share his life with.
What do you think this movie is trying to say about money or class
But I
or
mean, just think about it. This movie is more than 100 years old,
101 years old?
and he has not a million. He has multi-million dollars. He's crazy rich,
He still didn't
Yeah.
get new shoes. Or not now he's back in his mining. Sorry, he's
and
back
now he's
in
back wearing this.
Oh.
And he kicks him in the face.
Well, that was I think that, we didn't really touch on the
Oh, and he pokes him. Yeah.
anti-authority nature of the Tramp. Probably
Ah.
also would put him on the government's watch list of like they were trying to figure out how influential these movies could be, and being a little anti-authoritarian and kicking an immigration officer in one of his short films was what kind of really put him on the radar of the government.
No, I think so. But I mean, look, with any of these things, to be anti-authoritarian is simply to have artistic integrity, which I think Chaplin definitely did. And the idea that he ran with it, and you can see it on full display in this. And I love this sequence where she hides him from the police.
Yeah,
Like he sat in like
he's the
the
stowaway.
the, the big coil of ropes. Like even though he's a millionaire, you
Mm.
know, they're out to get him for reasons that are easy to forget because they're not very well explained. But you know, throw a blanket over him and like, oh no, okay, here he is. So you're the stowaway.
Were
But of
stowaways
course,
an
he's
issue
not.
back in the day? Because the Marx Brothers did it too, right?
They
Yeah,
did do it too.
In
Yeah.
multiple films.
kind of
Yes.
like the train hopping. That it's in that same spirit.
Yeah, like being a hobo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
no,
Jim's partner, the
the
multimillionaire.
multimillionaire, which again, like we're talking 100 years ago,
No
that's
one
an
else knew.
outrageous amount of money.
I thought they got the memo that he was doing a photo session. No one else knew besides the photographer and one other person he was doing a photo session.
Was there not a public notice? It's like when you inform, the local police that you have an actor out in a police uniform. We're gonna have our multi-million-dollar millionaire out in his hobo outfit. Please be aware.
I feel weird saying this, but Charlie Chaplin was actually a very handsome man.
Why do you feel weird
I
saying
know,
that?
I feel weird. I feel like,
Well, because I think of him as kind of like a clown and not, but
well, he's so
just as,
unrecognizable
as,
it's so funny when he
as
has the mustache off and he doesn't have the hat and his hair's slicked back. Like he looks like such a different person
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I just
as
feel like when
most.
I take my time and like actually look at him, it's like, wow, like that's a really good
Boy,
looking
the
dude.
ladies loved him, right?
I
Yeah.
want to say a quote that Chaplin said on the creation of the Gold Rush. He said this in the creation of comedy, it is paradoxical that tragedy stimulates the spirit of ridicule because ridicule, I suppose, is an attitude of defiance. We must laugh in the face of our helplessness against the forces of nature or go insane. There you go.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Where are you guys on like
There's
film comedians? Where
Oh,
where would you be on the like with what on the scale? Like how does Chaplin compare to like the Stooges, the Marx Brothers, Monty Python, anybody modern, Mr. Bean,
yeah.
Borat,
I like Chaplin more than the Stooges. I like the kind of, the adventures he gets into, the romantic stuff at times, but it's more like the him navigating society and trying to overcome, his struggles or poverty often. And like there's a charm to the physical comedy and his facial expressions and, him just like his communication style and like he has, just that uniqueness. I know he was influenced by this French comedy performer at the time,
like
a little
Tati.
bit. What's that?
Is it Tati?
No, no, no. French actor
Oh,
from the silent era from France, from the film
I
industry
thought
in
Tati,
France.
I thought Tati was a clown.
No, it's not Tati though. It's another guy. He was influenced a little bit for his style of comedy, but then he, eventually
Okay,
sculpted it,
I'm just misremembering. I'm sorry.
kind of made his own, character. So I do like Buster Keaton. I probably like Chaplin more than Harold Lloyd. I do like the Marx Brothers. I will watch their stuff again, especially like Monkey Business from time to time. But I maybe agree with you, Scott, what you said earlier. Modern Times for Chaplin maybe is really of his like rewatchable films. And like I said too, for his sound movies, Limelight, King of New York, um, Great Dictator, like they're up there. Like I feel like those I would rewatch or want to see in a theater. If a theater was going to show any of those movies, I would want to see. I would like say, yeah, let's check that out or
Do you
try
feel
to.
like Dictator's a good movie or just kind of you know, an important film for how it addresses the Hitler thing of it all? But like,
Yeah,
is it itself as a standalone good film?
I think
I
there's a lot to learn from it. as far as
Okay.
satire and maybe ways to apply that formula to the contemporary world if you want to make a similar kind of a movie and a comedy too at that.
I
Yeah.
think it's a legit question. I mean, Great Dictator, I act personally don't really think is I think it's a very important film,
Yeah.
you know, and it's one that, everyone should have seen, it's something that you should rewatch every couple of years. But is it one of Chaplin's great films? I don't really think so. I think Gold Rush is. But in terms of like, old school silent film stuff, I mean, I would pick Harold Lloyd.
Really? Over Chaplin?
I Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Safety last.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There is, I've tried to find, I know I like came across it on TCM late at night one night, but there was like a sound remake of Safety Last,
Oh.
that
Why
looked
would why would you do that?
awful. It looked, and I've tried to re-find it because it is that bad that I feel like it needs to, because also there is a black character in it that is, I feel like was poorly represented. Like I was not, quite as in tune when I saw it, again, it was like a late night. I feel like that I saw some clips of it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I would be curious to go back to. But the original Safety Last is great. I think of the three major, I think Chaplin's a better storyteller. I think Keaton's a better filmmaker. Like he's actually embracing the art of film.
And Buster Keaton is the great stuntman of all
Yes,
of them.
yes, yes. And
Before you
Harold
go on,
Lloyd
Scott.
is still like up there, but he's still like below either of them as like. And you mentioned Limelight, like there's a great sequence between Chaplin and Keaton. They're in the film
Yeah.
together. And it was notorious that Chaplin cut a lot of Keaton out of the film because he felt like Keaton was stealing the light from him,
Oh,
was outshining him, stealing the limelight.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
yeah.
Interesting.
There's also
But Joe,
All right.
Joe, I don't want to, you know, I want to get back to the Gold Rush. Your essential points or anything
Oh,
you haven't said about it that you want to say, like let you speak
back
about
to
it.
the Gold Rush. Yes. I think that it's look, it's 100-year-old movie. So I'm not going to pretend that it's super relevant or pertinent to anything immediately. But I think if you do take your time to watch it, and I think you should take your time to watch it, you will see that it's quite obvious that this film has visually influenced most of the stuff that is in your field of vision, most of the stuff that you can see,
yeah.
either in cinema or in television. Like I said, in video games, you can see it there too. And even just on the internet. I mean, it's just in terms of just general visual design. Like sometimes, like when they cut out to the cabin like that, and there's like snow coming like this. I mean, this is something that I'm not saying that that film invented it. I mean, painters have seen snow in cabins before, of course. But in terms of cinematic language, I think the Gold Rush invented a lot and ought to be recognized for it.
Scott, is there anything you didn't get to say about the Gold Rush that you
No,
want
we
to
hit a
say
lot of
about
the points
Chaplin?
I had. I mean, I think it is. Like I say, it's kind of I think of those three films as the big Chaplin films, the Gold Rush, Modern Times, and City Lights, and I think it's the lesser of the three, but it was the first, and therefore, as much of, need deserves acknowledgement in terms of inventing the space in a lot of ways, and even being like essentially independently produced by United Artists is like, that was all groundbreaking stuff at that time. So, and it certainly, was breaking all the, box office records too. Like, I mean, it was a big draw. I mean, and the films after it beat all those records, but still, it was like the first major hit. I don't know if
Well,
it's
yeah, I
probably
mean,
the
at the time,
first
there was
like
barely such
success,
a
right?
thing as
Like,
the box office. Like,
was that?
no, I was going to say that at the time, there was barely such a thing as the box office.
I mean, there was box office. I mean, there was, there were still hits, but nothing on the global massive scale that this film was.
Hmm. Chaplin said that was the movie that he wanted to be remembered for.
Hmm. When did he say it?
I think it might have been in an interview
You
or in
know,
the book that you read.
there is a Chaplin museum in Switzerland, right? Like at his home,
Is
his
that
Ah,
home,
true?
his expat home, huh?
interesting.
Is that true?
Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah. I mean, it looks, I who knows how good of a museum it really is, but like it looks like it would definitely be an interesting stop off to go check that out.
So
No, I would love to. I would love to see that. That would be amazing. It
I
was
think there's
actually
a, I
something
think there's a,
that you were saying, just about just sort of human behavior and stuff. The idea of going to the Chaplin Museum. I was just in Portugal not long ago, and I went to the Fernando Pessoa Museum. Do you know him?
I do not know.
He's like a poet and kind of like a man of letters. But
Okay.
anyway, he has this quip where he says at one point, "I have grown exhausted with everything except life."
hmm.
Well, there you go.
Which, to go to the Chaplin Museum, like I would just wonder what gems you would get from the Chaplin Museum.
The 1942 version of the Gold Rush, is there anything to say about that one? I mean, say something about it.
I mean that was like, that was when Chaplin was being rediscovered. All the silent guys were being rediscovered at that point because of television, right?
Well, I think
Like,
he thought that like, oh, it's the sound era, like we're well into it now. I can get a new audience now with this old movie. So that was part of his just to cash in on, the technology.
In 1942?
Well, that's when it came out, right? It was 42.
re-release, yeah.
Yeah, re-released in theaters in 42 with a new musical score written by Chaplin himself in collaboration with Max Terr, the musical director. He also added sound effects, replaced the silent movie title cards with descriptive voiceover narration. And it did receive a couple Oscar nominations in 43 for best score and best best sound.
Although I'm realizing, I guess Modern Times was 1936, so maybe it wasn't about him being rediscovered on film, right? Or on television.
Hmm. More for the theaters just to have a new. Maybe he felt like it because he said it felt like it was one of his best movies. If he could put a narration and all like the sound effects, maybe he thought he could make more money with it. Um,
I mean, I've definitely seen that version, and it is very,
it's shorter too, I think, right?
I think it's longer,
Oh, it's longer. Okay.
It
weirdly
is
enough.
longer. Yes, I looked this up. It is
Oh,
longer.
Yeah, and yeah, because I feel like, yeah, I'm sure he was packaging it for whatever to make money off of it, but the narration is so,
Bad.
yeah, I mean, it's like it's
yeah.
Chaplin himself, like talking, explaining the jokes, right?
So it should have just been like a DVD extra, like commentary, director's commentary track by Chaplin.
Probably would have been better off. Yeah, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course. I mean, there's nothing less funny than explaining your own joke.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just looking at some of the trivia. There were 27 times more film shot in the Gold Rush than appeared in the final cut. It was the only silent comedy that Chaplin began to shoot with a story that was fully worked out. Let's see. Oh, there was something about so the 600 men playing prospectors were real vagrants from Sacramento, California, who were brought in by train and hired for 1 day's pay. As you said earlier, Scott, the dancing rolls sequence was so popular with audiences that in some cases, such as the film's Berlin premiere, projectionists would stop the movie and replay the scene. So yeah, anything, let's see. I think we covered most of the stuff from the movie Chaplin's life, of course. The life of an artist. The Circus comes to mind as one of his other movies that I would recommend people see. That one's memorable.
Really?
Circus,
the Circus is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Circus.
Oh, the other, to me, the best, actually, the most digestible too of all the films, because it's a shorter one, is The Kid.
Yeah,
The Kid is very relatable.
The Kid is
that's
good.
good. Yeah, it's sad.
Dog's Life, also similar vein.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, everything else is just very much one-off kind of, you know, Tramp goes to war, Tramp, works at a bar, Tramp is on a boat, kind of stuff like that, like one-off kind of,
yeah.
Mr. Bean-esque escapades.
Yeah.
Is comedy always? I mean,
But aren't those other ones like that too? Where like, the tramp, here's a situation, throw in the tramp.
yeah,
Right. That's what the short films are.
And he does stuff,
Yeah.
like, very much like Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
yes.
It's interesting. I mean, that's the thing is like, how well does comedy hold up in these longer story form type things? Because even when we talk about, say, the Gold Rush, we talk about the dinner roll sequence, we talk about the chicken
Yeah.
and the cabin, you know what I mean? Eating the shoe. It's like it kind of delineates down into sketches, if you will,
Yeah.
rather than an overall storyline necessarily.
Are we back to the sketches though, with like social media consuming, like, and just watching these short little videos? Is that back to the Nickelodeon of the silent era, just kind of looking at really
Yeah,
short
I mean the
clips?
dopamine hit of a TikTok of like a little 30-second clip of,
I don't think so.
You disagree, Joe?
What is Joe's disagreeing?
I'm disagreeing. I don't think that it's neutralized itself or become anodyne or something like this. I mean, like the stuff with the dinner rolls or some of the bits that you get in Chaplin, those become universal because they're executed so it's Chaplin. Like there's something magical about them. And I don't think there's any disputing this.
No. I mean, I think, well, I guess my main question is does comedy, often comedies and feature films, it's like the feature is such a, broad, the storyline is such a, piece together. Even we were like making jokes of like how things weren't explained in the film, like the rope holding the cabin or
Yes.
how they found the note or the thing like that. That's not comedy doesn't necessarily live in that feature storytelling narrative as much as the individual type moments of what happens in a comedy.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, comedy doesn't always make sense. Like that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that Chaplin like has like the genius of like the little Chaplin bits, I think transcend sometimes they say that like the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. What I'm saying is that some of the parts exceed the whole.
Mm.
Hmm. But the whole is still important.
Yes, of course.
I mean, I feel like I don't think we're arguing that Chaplin's dinner roll sequence is on par with TikTok. Like the greatest TikTok artist, can't hold a candle to a little dinner roll sequence from Chaplin. There's definitely more art in the Chaplin, but like I think Jeff's onto something of like the short, little bit as far as like comedy lives. And Mel Brooks, I think, had a thing for a while that his movies had to be 87 minutes or shorter.
Oh,
Like he
really?
couldn't, like he very much was like, you can't let a comedy go too long.
Oh, I like
Like,
that. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
but there
I
was a
agree.
very fat, like he really had it down. Like, I mean, he's probably joking when he says 87 minutes, so specific, but like that you cannot have an epic comedy.
The Marx Brothers, a lot of their best stuff is like 70 minutes or 68 minutes. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that's genius if you can do.
They should have hired him at Marvel.
Oh, but no, I guess too, I think about entertainment today and how we entertain ourselves. If we do want to see something funny or comedic,
What do we turn
where do
to?
we go? Where do we turn to? Where do you go?
Horror.
What's your, cozy
Horror.
comedy?
For
You
Huh?
watch
comedy?
horror films. Yes.
For comedy?
Really?
Yes. I think some of the funniest movies made in the last 5 to 10 years are horror films.
For you personally, more laugh out loud kind of laughs.
Yes.
Is that just because of is it the Dog Day Afternoon thing where it's like your emotions are at such a different, no, really, like it's a release to laugh at
Yes.
it, like,
Yes.
you know what I mean, like that's where if
Yeah.
you're on such a tense moment, like,
But it's
yeah.
unintentional. I think, I don't know, this movie, I think at least if people did watch it with us for the first time, I think they still will get something out of it. And my inclination is to say that people don't really watch silent movies anymore unless you're a filmmaker or maybe an artist, or maybe you see it with live music in an actual movie theater. So I would recommend people do check out some of at least
Great
the
experience if you can ever do the live music thing. Like, and I'm telling you guys, because I feel like we at school had a few times that the general is very popular, like live accompaniment
Buster Keaton. Yeah.
film. But there's definitely like a orchestra put together with like planned music for the film. If you ever get the
Yeah.
opportunity, like seriously, if you guys are ever in LA, look up Cliff Fratelli, see if he's doing any performances. He occasionally does ones of films that he has not seen.
Oh,
That was like a brilliant experience for me, that Pompeii film. Like to have like to be feeling out the movie with the accompaniment was like super fascinating.
That's
yeah.
so weird. Why would they have you do a film that you haven't even seen?
Because that's how it was experienced a lot at the time. That was like people were like, I mean, people would play music that had nothing to do with the film. They just knew it, so they would play it. Like there were people like that.
Yeah.
Then there were people who would watch the movie like and just try to like follow along with it and try to provide something that goes with the movie.
Yeah.
After a while, I think Chaplin sent
Right. This is
sheet
just
music with his movies.
like old vaudeville stuff. Like the entertainer, the star of the show. Like
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But like as an art form, it was a very fascinating. I mean, look, I wouldn't maybe you don't need to do it more than once, but like you should at one time in your life, if you get that opportunity, check that, like
Yeah.
feel that experience. But I think kind of getting back to the Gold Rush, I think Chaplin at some point started providing sheet music with his movies.
It sounds right.
And I don't know if he was the first one to do that or not, but like at some
I think
point,
you're right.
because
And I know he wasn't the first, but I know he's
okay,
also not the only one to do that.
All right.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was like a thing of like, because I mean, that was an untapped resource of your film is like the musical accompaniment. Like,
Yeah.
people, it was like, Joe Blow out in the middle of like Indiana nowhere, like just providing a little musical accompaniment of like whatever he had learned at his local church to play along with your movie that the mood may or may not fit.
Hmm. Wow. Anything else, you guys? Anything Chaplin or do you watch silent movies for fun ever? Do you ever throw something on or?
Yeah, you know what? You brought up The Crowd, which I have not actually seen, but I literally have the DVD. It has been on
Oh,
my to-do list for the longest of times
yeah,
because
man.
there was that Scorsese documentary where he touched on the crowd and showed a bunch of clips from it. It looks super fascinating. It's
Yeah.
fascinating me from here. A lot of the King Vidor stuff looks super fascinating.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, do you ever watch silent movies for fun or just when I tell you to check something? I think I told you to see Faust, the Murnau Faust version.
Hmm.
It's a silent one that's really, really
Hold
good.
on. You told me to
I think
watch
you
Murnau's
hadn't seen it.
Faust?
You were like, no, I haven't seen it. I'm like, dude, you got to go see this. You got to watch it. It was like a year ago.
Yes, I've seen Murnau's Faust.
I had told you to check it out. It was like a year ago.
Thank him, Joe. Thank him.
I refuse. I'm going to sit here and pout. No, I think the last silent film that I watched, just like for leisure, was
Was Hundreds of Beavers.
it. No, I haven't done that yet. Just relax. Just just calm down. But no, it was Nosferatu.
Oh, okay. Do you guys know this guy? I'll share the screen so I can see him. He's one of the,
I've read about him before. I have not seen his films though.
yeah,
Was it
interesting
a comedy or was he drama or
drama. A lot of dramas, yeah.
have you seen any of his films?
Some of his stuff, yeah. A few years ago, tried to check them out, and then there were a bunch that got restored as well, relatively recently. Um, yeah. So, how do you say
You,
it? Oscar McHugh? I don't know how to really
Michaud.
Joe?
show. Okay.
Michaud.
And
Yeah.
he was American? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones, let's see.
Oh wait, was he a founding member of the Directors Guild too? Does it say at the top of
Oh,
his
sorry.
page?
I was
Sorry
going
to.
I was going to his
Yeah,
filmography.
no,
Oh, an award from the Directors Guild. Okay.
I know
Yeah.
this dude also, but I also have not seen any of his films. I don't think. Maybe
So
a short or something.
so the movies, let's see.
Yeah, I'm
The
trying to
Veiled
find.
Aristocrats. That's one that's been, I think, restored. Veiled Aristocrats, and
Hmm,
what was the other one? Body and Soul.
okay.
Paul Robeson is in that one. That one's interesting. Yeah. I mean, he made a lot of stuff. So it's good that, I mean, there's quite a bit that's lost, but
Right.
a lot survives. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, thank you guys for doing this. I hope it was fun for you, and
I had fun.
yeah,
Yeah, this is a blast. You
it was a good
kidding?
time.
We
And
got to do this now that I'm not on my job now. We can hopefully do a few more of these more regular. I could give regular. I would if you invite me back.
was
Uh,
it fun to watch the movie, or at least it doesn't have to be a silent movie,
No,
but
I had great fun watching the movie, actually. It was like a great excuse to go back and watch Gold Rush.
yeah.
I hadn't seen it in years.
I had my daughter watch
And
it with me for a little while, a 3-year-old. She
really,
hung in there a lot better than I was expecting. I figured she would be very impatient with it, but
she was
she hung
entertained a
in
little
with
bit.
it. She didn't make it through the whole movie, but she
Oh,
did
okay.
stick it out through some of it, you know.
Oh, wow.
no, I'm sure. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's really funny. Like,
Universal for kids, yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I've introduced her to other Chaplin, shorter pieces of Chaplin before. She'll walk around like Chaplin. She'll do the feet thing. And
Oh, wow.
apparently her teachers at school told her to stop doing it. But
God, oh my God, they suck.
Have you shown
They
her
I
any?
think they
suck.
just creeped out by this. Not that it's Chaplin, but just that there was so she was probably disturbing the class.
Have you
Uh,
shown her any like Buster Keaton or any other silent
I've
movie?
shown a little Buster Keaton. She didn't quite gravitate to that as much, you know. She also has other shows that she watches, modern shows that are like
I
she
would
wants to
wonder
go
that.
there.
I mean, like, I'm not an actor, but I would wonder what exactly is the difference between like a Chaplin and a Harold Lloyd and a Buster Keaton walk. because they all do it.
Well, Chaplin does the side feet because he puts the shoes, they're too big and they're
Chaplin
on.
does this.
He actually has the feet on, he actually would put the shoes on the opposite feet because they were too big, because that way it would meet in the heel more. You know what I mean? Like the miss, like it would meet and
Yeah.
squeeze
Oh,
in the
and
joint.
even in Gold Rush, he doesn't even wear two of the same. Like he wears like a boot
Right.
Well,
on the
he ate the
one
one. I
one
know, Joe,
foot
you didn't.
because he
I know
ate
you
the boot.
missed where the rope got attached to
I
the rock,
remember.
and you
Shut
missed
up!
the eating the
Shut up!
shoe. But
Shut
that's
up!
why he had a
Shut up!
different
I
boot
hate you.
on. When you after you detox off of your TikTok for a weekend, you might catch some of these details.
We're gonna put you on a silent movie only dial. You can't watch anything but silent movies for a whole month.
Um, from after my job, I was thinking I need to detox. I need to just go disappear in a cabin in the woods, and I was literally gonna find one on Airbnb without internet and just bring a DVD player and just like be able to watch DVDs rather than being distracted by this the streaming onslaught. Even Criterion, it just takes forever to like find one thing to like
Yeah.
really focus in on.
We keep coming back to the Criterion Collection. It keeps coming back.
Well, what you say like you're not a fan
Maybe
yourself. What are you talking about?
Maybe this is just a joke with me and Jeff.
Well, you do seem either like, yeah, I don't know. Are you just wish you could have all the DVDs, or you just are jealous of the Criterion folks? What is it, Joe? What irks you about the Criterion channel or the Janus Films collection?
What irks me? It's that they have all of the good and make it very expensive.
You could get it through interlibrary loan, a lot of the DVDs.
They have a lot of
right?
non-exclusive
Yeah, I
deals
mean,
now.
and you can get a lot of stuff through Canopy,
Yes.
for example.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, but getting it through Criterion is better.
You got to pay for quality, Joe.
I know.
Even the restorations, what you pay for with them, a lot of times, you know, like
Yeah.
putting they really do put like the effort in, like, um, but yeah.
Well, movies, do they continue to inspire you? Do you still see stuff where you are moved or you feel something? Do they still have the same
Yes.
charm as they did in your early adult years or
Definitely
early?
harder to
Yes.
find those films. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No.
I still have a hard time. Well, look, I have a 3-year-old right now, and I do not watch a lot of movies right now. I'm not watching nearly as much stuff as I would like to be.
Sesame Street or Mr.
A lot of
Rogers?
Sesame Street, a lot of Paw Patrol,
Paw Patrol.
a lot of Bluey.
No Barney?
What's that?
Are you going to avoid Barney or ever introduce her to
We've
Barney?
touched a little Barney. She's really into Paw Patrol and Bluey, though. But which Bluey's actually, as far as watching children's television, Bluey's pretty good. It actually like represents like the family dynamic on Bluey is really heartwarming. But she, like I said, she made it through a lot of more of the Gold Rush than I was expecting her to. She did pretty
Yeah.
good with that.
I wonder what she would think of like the Marx Brothers. Would she find them entertaining?
Probably. Probably.
That'd be an interesting one, yeah. Some of their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, something like
I mean, Duck Soup. If you guys like,
I was gonna say,
Duck,
like Duck Soup is funnier.
and it is that film is unhinged. Like there is like
No,
one,
it's
you
nuts.
know, like the other Marx Brother films, especially after when they went to MGM, like they tried to put in the romance with the side characters, they put more story into all of them. Duck Soup is like wall to wall just anarchy, and it's like. I mean, it's an impressive piece of cinema of like that just was nonstop jokes and like
Yeah,
craziness.
no,
And,
Duck Soup is nuts. It
mhm.
reminds me, like there's a conversation that I remember reading about. It was on the set of Seinfeld, and it was Larry David talking to Jason Alexander. And Jason Alexander, like he was upset, because he was like, I don't understand my motivation. Like last episode, I was doing this, and now I'm doing something completely the opposite. I don't know what I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm doing with myself. And Larry David's like, that doesn't matter. It's not about character. It's about funny. Is it funny or not? And Jason Alexander, he's like, like he's like a serious like stage actor, you know. He's like, okay, this guy actually just doesn't care.
Should we watch Duck Soup
So
next
he's
time?
like,
Is that what you're saying?
no, we should watch Seinfeld next time.
I think a good quote to end on is, "We must laugh in the face of our helplessness against the forces of nature or go insane." I think that's a good one to go out on. And he said that about the gold rush. So thank you guys. I'll let you enjoy the rest of
I
your
think that's good.
day.
That's
And Chaplin's birthday is coming up April 16th, actually. So we're
Is
channeling
it really?
some kind of
we're
Chaplin.
ahead of the curve. We're here celebrating it. We're like,
Well, I have time to buy him a present.
So happy birthday, Charles Chaplin. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Scott. I'll edit out all the curse words and
I only did one or two to my
it's
in
okay.
my defense.